Glory to God. My apologies, brothers and sisters. There's another brother in the Lord calling me. We always talk video phone, so it cut me off. So I apologize. All right, let's pick up where we left off. We was in St. John chapter 11, verse 48. Okay, St. John chapter 11, verse 48. It says, if we let him thus alone, all men will believe on him, and the Romans shall come and take away both our place and nation. So what happened is Jesus had just raised Lazarus from the dead. And there were some spies there. And they saw what Jesus had did. And they went and told the Pharisees. Now the Pharisees gathered together. The chief priests said, okay, what are we going to do? This man doing too many miracles. Then they said, if we just let him alone, all men will believe on him, and the Romans shall come and take away both our place and nation. So I was explaining to you the ruling class of people in the world today. The same people that was the ruling class in the world during the days that Jesus walked this earth are the same people that's the ruling class today. Okay? They are the Japhet Gentiles mentioned in Genesis chapter 10. Okay? Is these northern Caucasian races, the Pope them, they're Romans. They're still the ruling class of people, even in America, everywhere. All these European nations, they are the ruling class. They're dominant. They're dominating everywhere. They are the ruling class. Jesus is not coming back for them. Jesus is coming back for Israel. This is what you have to understand. And if you don't, then you're going to be deceived because you think Jesus is coming back for everybody, but he's not. That's why they saying the Romans shall come and take away both our place and nation. What do you mean take away? Because they are the ruling class. They are in control. They're in charge. Israel, Jerusalem, is under occupation by the Rome. And we're still the nation, the Hebrew Israelites of the tribe of Judah, of the seed of Abraham, are still under occupation by the Romans here in America. You got to understand that. But I know you're thinking, the Jews, they over in Israel. No, they're not. Those are not the Hebrew Israelites of the Bible. They've stolen the land. They've stolen the identity of the real Hebrew Israelites, of the real children of Israel, of the real seed of Abraham, of the real tribe of Judah. They've stolen our identity. They will even tell you they're not the biblical Hebrew Israelites. They're Ashkenazi Jews, Jewish. They're not real Jews. They're not real of the tribe of Judah. They will tell you this. But the whole world, and it's by design, believe, and if nobody never told you, you believe that they're the real Jews. They are not the real Jews. This may come as a shock to a lot of you, especially if you never heard it before, but they're not the real Jews. That's why you don't understand the scriptures and you think Jesus came for everybody. See, when people talk about the scriptures, especially in these 501c3 churches, that's why they want everybody to be Christians. Then they don't have to talk about Israel. That's why Christianity is a false doctrine. It's a fake doctrine because they don't talk about who Israel is. Jesus came back for Israel. He ain't coming back for Christians. He didn't come for Christians. He didn't come to start a religion. He only came for the tribe of Judah. That's the tribe that he came from. Those are the people we call Jews, which are us, which is me, which is you. Especially if you came over to this country in that transatlantic slave trade. Your ancestors, your descendants. That's who we are. We are the tribe of Judah. So they were saying that the Romans going to come and take away both their place and nation. because Jesus is doing miracles and doing everything, and he's taking over. And so they're afraid. They don't know what to do. Because right now, the Rome let them be over Israel. Let them be over Israel. But Jesus, he ain't getting no authority from the Romans. He doing what he want to do. He ain't asking the Romans for nothing. But they see, that's how these 501c3 churches are also. They're under authority of the Rome because they're part of the state. Their authority comes from the state. Everything that they say and do, they have the authority invested in them of whatever state that they're in. They're a 501c3 corporation. They're a business. They're false people. All of them. They're fake. Jesus came for Israel, and they don't tell people that. Lord have mercy. It's a lot to swallow. Go back and research all the scriptures and see what I'm saying. Don't just take my word for it. Verse 49. And one of them, named Caiaphas, being the high priest that same year, said unto them, You know nothing at all. So this is the high priest. His name is Caiaphas. He's a Hebrew Israelite of the seed of Abraham, of the tribe of Judah. Verse 50. Nor consider that it is expedient for us. For us who? For Israel. For the seed of Abraham. For the tribe of Judah. It is expedient for us. He's talking about Israel. That one man should die for the people. What people? Israel. The people of Israel. The tribe of Judah. Hebrew Israelites of the seed of Abraham. And that the whole nation perish not. Nation who? The nation of Israel. Not the one that you think is over there in the land called Israel today. That's not what they're talking about. They're talking about the real Hebrew Israelites who are scattered all over the world. He was talking about the tribe of Judah. Of the seed of Abraham. That's who he's talking about. The biblical Hebrew Israelites. Not the whole world. Nor, verse 50 again, nor consider that it is expedient for us. It's expedient for us. That one man. Who's that one man? Jesus Christ, the Messiah, should die for the people. What people? Israel. See, it's all coming together. It's all making sense, right? This is the high priest, Caiaphas, and he's prophesying. You don't realize he's prophesying, but he is. And that the whole nation perish not. It's expedient for Jesus to die for the whole nation of Israel. This is what you got to understand. Verse 51. And this spake he not of himself, but being high priest that year, he prophesied that Jesus should die for that nation, the nation of Israel, the seed of Abraham, the tribe of Judah. That's who Jesus is dying for. Period. Not the whole world. You understand? Verse 52. And not for that nation only, but that also he should gather together in one the children of God that were scattered abroad. Wow. Isn't that something? All of Israel that's scattered abroad. That's exactly what I've been telling you all this time. The northern tribe of Israel was scattered. They sinned against the Lord, and the Lord scattered them among the Gentile nations. Jesus is dying for them also. They are Hebrew Israelites of the seed of Abraham. That's exactly what they're talking about and who they're talking about. It's not the whole world. You need to understand that. So you're probably saying, if you're hearing this for the first time, so what about everybody else? Well, everybody else you want to make it in, then you got to be a servant of Israel. What? Yeah, you got to serve Israel in the kingdom. You got to understand who the ruling class is now. Y'all are the ruling class now, but in the kingdom, you're not going to be the ruling class. People like me going to be the ruling class. Because we ain't ruled nothing right now. We've been spit up on, stepped over, put down. We're not the ruling class. Look around. You know who the ruling class of people are. Those ruling class that are in the ruling class today are going to be servants of Israel if you want to make it into the kingdom. That's what I'm telling you. Now, you can believe me or not. Go search the scriptures. But that's what the scripture says. All right. So, verse 52 again. And not for that nation only, but that also he should gather together in one the children of God that were scattered abroad. You see, the children of Israel are two nations. The southern kingdom and the northern kingdom. The northern kingdom is 10 tribes. The southern kingdom is Judah and Benjamin. They're split. But in the time that Jesus comes for Israel, he's going to make us one nation again. You need to understand that. Excuse me. Verse 53. Then from that day forth, they took counsel together for to put him to death. They're like, we got to get rid of him. But they didn't realize that what they were doing, they're following the scriptures, that the scriptures can be fulfilled. Yeah, it's a bad thing, but it's a good thing. That's why the scriptures say all things work together for good to those that love the Lord. All the bad stuff that happened to us happened for a reason. Yes, it was bad, very bad. We disobeyed God. God said he was going to scatter us, which he did. He said he was going to destroy us, which he did. That's why one of the reasons we don't know who we are, because he said he was going to destroy us. But the people that have punished us, the Lord sent us to them to be our whooping stick. Every time Israel sinned, the Lord sent them among the enemies. They're the enemies of God. That's where we are now. We're in the land of our captivity. So when the Lord comes back, he's coming to redeem us from our enemies, out of the land of our captivity. So the people, whatever they've done unto us, believe me, payback is coming. They're going to reap what they have sown. Yeah, it was for the glory of God, but it's also going to be for the glory of God when they get their just due reward too. Verse 54. Jesus therefore walked no more openly among the Jews, but he went thence unto a country near to the wilderness, into a city called Ephraim, and there continued with his disciples. So Jesus had to start being a little careful. He knew he was going to have to give his life, but it was in his own time when he decided. He said he ain't ready. He ain't ready yet. It ain't his time yet to die. So he didn't walk more openly among the Jews, who are Judah, the tribe of Judah, who are Hebrew Israelites of the seed of Abraham. That's who the Jews are. It's not all of Israel. But he went thence unto a country near the wilderness, into a city called Ephraim, and there continued with his disciples, who are Hebrew Israelites of the seed of Abraham, of the tribe of Judah. I have to keep saying it to make it plain so you can understand that it's not all the people of the world. People want to say Jews and they don't know who the Jews are. They think when you say Jews, you're talking about all of Israel. And I'm not talking about all of Israel. The Jews is only one tribe, the tribe of Judah. But if you're talking about the southern kingdom, it's Judah and Benjamin. Verse 55, and the Jews' Passover was nigh at hand. Now what is the Passover? The Passover is what they celebrated when the Lord delivered Israel out of Egypt the first time. Now why am I saying first time? Because he's going to do it again. Yeah. They're in Israel, they're in Egypt again. Yeah, right here in America, we are in Egypt. The Lord said he was going to bring us back to Egypt again in ships. So we're in Egypt. We're in the land of our captivity. Go back and read the scriptures. So verse 56, verse 55 again. And the Jews' Passover was nigh at hand. And many went out of the country up to Jerusalem before the Passover to purify themselves. Again, I was telling you that the Passover is when the Lord delivered the children of Israel out of Egypt. the first time. So they keep the Passover. That's why they keep it. That's why they keep the Sabbath. The Sabbath is in honor of the Passover. That's why the Lord said, remember the Sabbath to keep it holy. Today is considered the seventh day, the Sabbath of the Lord. That's why we're supposed to keep it. People who are Hebrew Israelites. But the people that talk to you, the Romans, the people that are in control, the ruling class of people, they are the ones that established this Sunday worship. They are the Romans. The Roman Catholic Church started this Sunday worship. And everybody just following it. Nobody is questioning anything. Go back and search the scriptures. You'll see what I'm saying is true. The Romans are the ones who have decided, oh, Sunday is now the new Sabbath. You can't change what God has established. Can't nobody change it. The Sabbath is still the Sabbath. But all these 501c3 corporation churches are in cahoots with the Roman Catholics. They're under the state rule of their state, which is under the state rule of the ruling class of people in the world. That's why they have these Sunday services. I know that may be a lot for you to digest, but that's the reason they have these Sunday services. All right, so verse 56. Then sought they for Jesus, and spake among themselves as they stood in the temple, what think ye, that he will not come to the feast? So they're still disputing among themselves. The rest of the people of Israel, who are Hebrew Israelites of the tribe of Judah, you think he's going to show up? You think he's coming to Jerusalem, to the Passover, to the feast? They don't know. They questioning him. Verse 57. Now both the chief priests and the Pharisees had given a commandment that if any man knew where he were, he should show it, that he might take him, that they may take him. So they got a plan, a conspiracy to capture Jesus. If anybody see him, if you see something, say something. Sounds familiar? If you see something, say something. Come and get Jesus. There he is, go get him. If you see something, say something. Man, the word is good. Thank you for listening. And we're going to pick it up next time in chapter 12. Shalom. Happy Sabbath.